Once again, welcome to my lectures in the series of pet food. As you know, I have already done 4 lectures related to pet food on basic aspects of pet food, the basics of pet nutrition, the basics use of animal byproducts in pet food and the processing of pet food. Today we will discuss about the pet food quality control and regulations. This is again a very important for maintaining the standard and maintaining the pet health, and all the earlier lectures links will be given in the description. In this lecture we will discuss about the importance of quality control, importance of regulations, the key aspects of quality control and key aspects of food safety, the role of manufacturers and the different mechanism they should adopt, like good manufacturing practices and HACCP. We will discuss different aspects of quality like nutritional, biochemical, microbial quality and sensory quality, and then we will discuss about the quality requirements in byproducts processing and the quality requirement or safety assurance in using the byproducts. And in the second half we will discuss about the national and international regulators. In national level, briefly about BIS and FSSAI, and international level there is UPCO, there is FDA, there is EU guideline. So we will discuss briefly the common and combined guidelines and certain specific regulations from these regulators, the APHA approval required sometime, and we will discuss about the specific regulations of the raw pet foods and processed pet foods. So to briefly understand the importance and introduce this topic, pet food quality control involves rigorous testing for contaminants and nutrients alongside stringent manufacturing protocols like good manufacturing practices and hazard analysis critical control point to ensure safety and nutritional adequacy. We all know in any food processing we need to follow GMP and also the modern systematic approach for quality control by applying the HACCP. So these programs helps us ensuring the constant uniform quality in food, and same thing applies in pet food. In the right side we can see 5 important players in ensuring the quality and safety of pet food. Number 1 is the agencies, that is which supplies different ingredients. Number 2, the pet food manufacturer who is doing the processing and packing and marketing. Number 3 is the researchers. Number 4, veterinarians who takes care about the pet health and nutritional requirements. And number 5 is the pet owners. Now we will see the importance of quality control in pet food manufacturing. First is the pet health and safety. The strict quality control measures are essential to prevent contamination and ensure that pet food is nutritious and safe for consumption. So only by applying proper quality control or quality assurance mechanism we can maintain the uniform quality and safety of the pet food. Secondly, the consumer confidence. So if we are adhering to a quality standard, then only we can have a trust and confidence of the pet owners regarding the safety and efficacy of the products they purchase. So by continuous uniform quality assurance we can have the confidence and trust of the pet owner. And thirdly, by ingredient integrity. So in the labeling we need to mention the different ingredients and their percentage, and that ensures the consumers are accurately informed about the composition of the pet food, and that again helps in building the trust and quality and thereby maintaining the pet health assurance. Now we will see the importance of pet food regulations. It helps protect pet health by preventing harmful ingredients. It ensures accurate and truthful labeling for transparency. It promotes consistent nutritional quality for pets' well-being, and it focuses on preventing contamination during manufacturing, and finally help build consumer confidence and trust in pet food products. So altogether the quality control and regulations go hand in hand. Unless there is proper regulations, sometimes the manufacturers may not follow the quality assurance program. Now we will see the key aspects of quality control. The first is contaminant testing. Equipment such as metal detectors, X-ray systems are used to identify foreign body contaminants and verify correct fill levels, ensuring the physical safety of the food. Second category is the nutritional analysis, that is by chemical assays are performed to assess the nutritional content including fatty acids, amino acids, mineral levels or vitamins, etc. And the hygiene and sanitation aspect, that is the strict hygiene, equipment sanitation including the microbial level or pathogens, traceability are crucial to ensure overall safety. And the fourth and final aspect is process validation. So here the audits and environmental monitoring help ensuring the production facility does not compromise product quality. So these are the four aspects or key aspects in quality control: contaminant testing, nutritional analysis, hygiene and sanitation, and process validation. Now we will see the key aspects of pet food safety. Number one is the ingredient sourcing and quality control, because ingredients are the most important part for making the pet food, so it should be taken with proper quality and proper source. Second is the manufacturing process, where everything is combined and processed into pet food, so the process should be foolproof and assuring the quality requirements for removing the pathogens and other aspect. Then third is the packaging and labeling, which makes the finishing of the product suitable for marketing. And finally, there should be traceability and recall preparedness. So there should be mechanism to identify the pet foods being marketed from where and which batch, which time, etc. And finally, the most important role is the regulator. So regulatory compliance. So different regulator has got specific recommendations and specifications or standards which must be followed. So these are the key aspects in pet food safety. Now we will briefly talk about the role of pet food manufacturers in ensuring safety. The first thing is the quality management system. The manufacturers must implement quality control measures including routine internal and external audits, and they should adopt the modern food safety assurance programs. So these programs include good manufacturing practices. This is a very vast topic we have discussed separately in case of food processing or meat and dairy plant. Then the next important food safety and quality assurance program is the hazard analysis and critical control point. So this is a most modern systematic approach for quality assurance. I have two separate lectures in this topic for meat plant and dairy plant. And thirdly, the regulatory compliance. The manufacturers must adhere to the standards set by different regulatory authorities like APCO and FDA in US, then EFSA and FEDIF from Europe, and in India we have BIS and FSSAI. All these regulatory authorities have specific standards which must be followed by the manufacturers. And lastly, the regular third-party testing and certification for product safety and quality. So this is an important requirement for assuring the quality and having the confidence of the consumers. Now here, before we go for discussing the quality control in pet food processing, since we are mainly focused on use of byproducts in the pet food processing, so quality control in byproduct processing is very important. So most of the byproducts come from rendering. So rendering and heat processing should be strictly controlled with requirements. There should be chemical and microbiological testing. There should be traceability and labeling standards, and good manufacturing practices should be followed in byproduct processing, and also the HACCP program must be followed in byproduct processing. So these byproducts are going to be used in the pet food. So their quality control is very, very important. Now we will see the quality and safety measures in byproducts utilization. So previous one I have discussed in the byproduct processing, proper quality assurance should be there. Here the pet food manufacturer should take care when they are using the byproducts. So ensuring the safety and nutritional quality of byproducts in pet food is critical for pet health. Pet food manufacturers should follow strict quality control measures to test for contaminants, pathogens, and maintain nutritional adequacy. So, testing for contaminants and pathogens include microbiological testing, chemical contaminant testing, antibiotic and hormone residue testing, and oxidation and rancidity testing. Because all animal byproducts having fat, it undergoes oxidation, so oxidant also should be checked. Now we will discuss about the actual quality aspects of pet food, which briefly I have mentioned earlier. So basically there are four different aspects in any food quality for human or pet foods. The first is the nutritional quality, which assures all the nutritional requirements. Second is the biochemical quality, which should ensure that there is no toxic materials or harmful chemicals are present. Third is the microbial quality, that is about the harmful bacteria or pathogens. And lastly, the sensory quality, which ensures the palatability and acceptability of the food. So briefly we will discuss all these aspects now one by one. Now we will discuss about the quality aspects. The first one is the nutritional quality and ensuring the nutritional adequacy. So first thing is the proximate analysis of nutrients. So proximate includes moisture, protein, fat, the ash including minerals, etc. So this gives a rough idea about the protein content, which is most important, and the mineral content. Further details can be analyzed for fatty acid analysis, the amino acid analysis, and some specific minerals also can be analyzed. So these are most important part of the nutritional quality. Then we need to assess the digestibility. So we can do the feeding trial with the dogs and assess their digestibility. That's a more cumbersome process. It can be done once in a while for new products. And finally, the nutrient fortification. So many times dog needs some special supplements. So as I have mentioned in the nutrition lecture, so some of those nutritional fortification, some vitamins, some amino acids, etc., that also we need to be assessed time to time. Then the second aspect is the biochemical quality of pet food, in which the common thing assessed is the pH, which ensures the quality aspect, and then TBA, that is thiobarbituric acid value. This is an indicator about the oxidation of food. Since there are fats, animal fats are used, so it is always susceptible to oxidation, particularly when there is heat processing. So this indicates the oxidative status. Similarly, the tyrosine value. Tyrosine value is related to microbial quality. If there is more microbial activity, the protein gets degraded and these so many free amino acids will be produced. So tyrosine is one of the amino acid which is used as the indicator for microbial breakdown of the proteins. And finally, we can assess some of the important toxic components, that is also coming under the biochemical analysis. This is about microbiological quality control or presence of pathogens. The manufacturer have to send pet food samples to an accredited laboratory where they will be tested for bacterial pathogens. The sample must be taken from raw pet food, from dog chews, from digests like hydrolyzed animal proteins used for flavoring, and any processed pet food that is not canned. So all these foods samples should be taken, and all the samples should be tested for Enterobacteriaceae and Salmonella. These are the standard requirements for ensuring the microbial quality of pet foods. Now very briefly we will see some of the microbial standards. Some pathogens were previously detected in dry pet food samples such as Enterobacteriaceae, Salmonella, Listeria and molds. So in the US FDA and USDA have details guidelines and regulations about pet food manufacturer and labeling. As per that, specific standards are given for pathogens. According to EU regulation, dog chews and processed pet food samples other than canned pet foods should not exceed 3 into 10 to the power 2 CFU per gram for Enterobacteriaceae. So in as per EU regulation, the Enterobacteriaceae should not be more than 3 into 10 to the power 2 CFU, that is colony forming unit per gram. If it is beyond that, it will not be accepted. Similarly, as per EU, the salmonella should be absent in 25 gram of samples, and the total number of yeast and mold should not be more than 10 power 4 CFU per gram. So this is the standard as per EU for microbiological quality control. Now we will discuss briefly about the palatability or sensory quality of pet foods. It has got four aspects. First is the perception, which includes the environment and health conditions. Second is the texture, depending on the shape and size, moisture, hardness and crunchiness, and pet food manufacturing process. The third is the odor, which includes the freshness, oxidation and aroma. And the last and most important is the flavor. In case of dog, four important flavor like sour, bitter, salty, sweet and sometimes umami flavor. In case of cat, it is sour, bitter, salty and umami. Sweet is not important in case of cat. Now we will see about the sensory quality analysis of pet food. One is the panelist, which will work on the descriptive and discriminative or differential tests. Then there is instruments for texture, for composition and other quality aspect. Then there is pet palatability, which is done by feeding the dogs or pets, which is depending on the acceptance, preference and consumption. And finally, owner also has a role in sensory quality analysis, which will focus on quantitative aspect, qualitative aspect and behavioral aspect. So altogether, all these four aspects gives an idea and analysis about the sensory quality of pet foods. Now we will discuss about the regulations and regulatory authorities. First is at the national level. In India, we have earlier authority like Bureau of Indian Standard. Before that, it used to be called as Indian Standard Institution. In 2015, it is further amended with an act, and BIS has become a more important authority for quality control of all aspects, including human foods and pet foods. So these BIS regulations are voluntary in nature. They have a standard on named as IS 11968 2019. This sets standards for ingredient quality, labeling and nutrient profiles. Whereas we have a modern food quality control authority by Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. So under this act, the regulatory authority is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI. They are responsible for monitoring compliance and ensuring these standards are met to protect pet health. So FSSAI is the main authority now for all the standards related to food and also in case of pet foods. So now for pet food, the BIS and AGMARK certificate is no more required, but implementing the FSSAI standard is a must. Now we will see the international regulations and regulatory authorities. The regulatory bodies like Association of American Feed Control Officials or APCO and the US Food and Drug Administration, US FDA, define and oversee the use of byproducts in pet food. These organizations ensure that byproducts meet safety and quality standards. So this I have mentioned in the early stage at the beginning. Now there are some common guidelines and from the APCO, FDA and EU authorities. These common guidelines includes the ensures ingredient labeling accuracy and nutritional standard, establishes minimum nutrient requirements for pet diets, defines acceptable processing methods for byproducts, that is rendering, heat processing, which I have mentioned earlier. Then US FDA enforces the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. This is an act which ensures pet food is safe and properly labeled. Also, their guideline includes inspects of facilities to prevent contamination and adulteration. So these are the common guidelines from UPCO, FDA and EU, which is ensuring the safety and specifications and quality control of the pet foods. Here briefly we will see certain things related to UPCO regulations. Firstly, a pet food to be marketed as complete and balanced when it meet all the nutritional standards. These nutritional standards are determined based on the pet stage of life, that is the age, like puppies or full grown adult, for reproductive or for all stages, etc. If a food does not meet these standards, it must be labeled as intended for intermittent or supplemental feeding only, and would then fall into the category of treat category or pet treat. Similarly, there is pet snacks options are there by including the healthy ingredients like carrots, spinach, tomato, sweet potato in pet food treats, and can increase the nutritional and functional value of pet food. So these are some of the few important points from UPCO regulations. Now we will see about the EU pet food regulations and few important points. Firstly, it classifies animal byproducts into edible and non-edible categories for pet food use. Only edible category can be used in the pet food. Secondly, ensures that byproducts come from healthy animals slaughtered for human consumption. And thirdly, to meet regulatory requirements, byproducts must undergo strict quality control measures. So these are some important specifications from the EU regulations. Here are some important specifications from EU regulations about the use of byproducts in pet foods. Firstly, it describes the health rules for using animal byproducts or animal derived products. The material of animal origin comprising those parts of animals that are either deemed surplus to human consumption or are not normally consumed by people. So only those materials should go to pet food. They should be derived from animals inspected and passed as fit for human consumption prior to slaughter. And it may also include products of animal origin like eggs, milk, butter, honey, etc. And animal products that are not intended for human consumption must be free of any transmissible disease. So if we take any byproducts which is not suitable for human consumption, they must be free from transmissible disease. Therefore, it excludes material from dying, diseased or disabled animals. So any materials from dying, diseased or disabled animals should not be included in the pet food as per EU regulations. Here briefly we will discuss about the APHA approval for use of animal byproducts in pet food. If the pet food includes products of animal origin, and even if these products are fit for human consumption, the ingredients bought directly from a supermarket also requires APHA approval. So APHA is American Public Health Association, which plays important role in microbial quality control for food and pet foods. The hazards need to be controlled by a documented HACCP plan supplemented by prerequisite program. So any microbial hazard should be controlled by documenting the HACCP plan, which we have separate lectures in details. And finally, approval by APHA is required for pet food manufacturers using category 3 animal byproducts. So in the previous lecture for byproducts used in pet food, I have discussed there are 3 categories of byproducts. Category 1 and 2 are not suitable for use in pet food. Only category 3 are suitable where the animals are passed for human consumption, and from such animal the byproducts can be used in pet food. Here are some of the regulations for raw pet food. Only the following materials are suitable for pet foods or raw pet food preparation. Number 1 is slaughterhouse materials that was past fit for humans to eat but is unwanted for commercial reasons, not due to disease. So any material suitable for human only can go for pet food, but it is not used for human for commercial reason. Fish byproducts from factories and ships that prepare fish for human consumption are suitable for raw pet food. Similarly, game that was past fit for humans to eat but rejected for commercial reasons, not due to disease, they are also suitable for raw pet food. And finally, materials from animals that passed an antemortem test and declared unfit for humans to eat, in such case can be used after proper processing only when the disease is not very serious in nature, like liver with fluke. So unfit for human, but such material can be used after proper processing. Here are few specification or regulation for processed pet food. Only the following materials are suitable to make processed pet food, like head and shank of poultry, milk processing byproducts, materials from on-farm slaughter of rabbits or poultry, hatchery waste, egg byproducts and day-old chicks are suitable. Then fish and fish byproducts from processing factories, food production byproducts including degreased bones, then products of animal origin or processed animal protein no longer intended for human consumption. All these materials are suitable for use in processed pet food as per the regulations. Finally, here are some pet food quality assurance precisely mentioned. One is the pet food safety program, like good manufacturing practices, preventive control, supply chain program, training, documentation and compliance of the regulations. In the right side, we can see that regulation, guidelines, inspection and investigation should be done. Safe ingredients, safe production and control of good manufacturing practices should be there. Then pathogen control, additives and preservatives, packaging and storage solution is important. Then educate pet owners, reporting and help outbreak investigations are very important. And finally, feed safe, follow recommendations for safe pet food handling. So this is precisely about the quality assurance of pet foods. Now finally we are end of today's lecture. Today's topic is pet food quality control and regulations. So we have discussed about the importance of quality and safety for pet foods. We have discussed the importance of quality control, importance of regulations, importance of food safety. We have discussed about the role of manufacturers and implementation of quality control programs. We have discussed about the measures in byproduct processing and utilization of byproducts in pet foods. Then we have discussed the different aspects of pet food quality, like nutritional, biochemical, microbial and sensory. We have discussed briefly all the aspects of this quality analysis, like nutritional quality analysis, biochemical quality analysis, microbial quality analysis and sensory quality analysis. Then we have discussed about the regulatory authorities, the authorities in India like BIS and FSSAI, then the international authorities like UPCO and IPSA, European Food Safety Authority, and then we have seen the APHA role in approval of byproducts. We have seen some brief specifications from UPCO, brief specification from European regulatory authorities, and finally we have seen some specification for raw pet foods and regulations, and some specific regulations for processed pet food, and we have seen the implementation of briefly the pet food quality assurance. So hope it is making a good learning on the quality control and regulations of pet food quality. Thank you.